like an download in my mind of a video game, and now I got to figure out how to actually turn that into reality, because you gave me a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I think if you're writing books, I mean, I think if that's what you're doing, you're writing books, and I think that would just be great content bots that you could create. You could create different Facebook pages and just have users go in and basically write their own stories, or basically determine on their own through interactions how the content of the story unfolds. And I think that would be really engaging for users that are just wanting to consume raw content. So I think that would be great myself.
Yeah.
Hey, John. How you doing? Steve here.
I'm doing great. How you doing, Steve?
Good, man. Not bad. Thank God it's Friday. All good. So how's it going?
Everything is going good from my side. So I signed up a couple new clients today. I got all you wonderful people I get to spend time with. So I can't complain about anything, man.
Good, man. I like to hear that.
The only other thing I would recommend, D, is maybe here you give one additional call to action here, because you're only given one call to action, while it really is. Well, what about the people? What about the people who don't think that it really is? They're no longer engaging with the bot, right? So some people might not think that this is fascinating. They might be like, yeah, whatever. And maybe you could have that as your other option. You could have like an MEH, like a meh. As your other option, like, not so great. That way you still keep them engaging with the bot, and they're still in some engagement process with the bot to continue their flow. Because anybody who doesn't think it really is, then they're done. I mean, there's no more engagement for them. They're kind of done with the bot.
Valid point. I'll have to add a whole new stream of dialogue.
D.
Yes.
I'll come in just a little bit late here, but I think you're talking about kind of telling a story, writing dialogue. Yeah?
Correct.
I saw something in one of the groups today, so really decent example for you, and it's called Kylo Ren, and it's kind of all tied in with Star Wars coming up, and it's a conversational bot with you and Kylo Ren, and it takes you through, you choose loads of options, and the story unfolds as you kind of based on your selections. It's really well done.
Oh, wonderful. Would you write that down?
Yeah, let me.
Or if you got a link to it, if you got.
Let me find. Just you carry on. Just give me a sec. I'll dig it up again. But it was really cool. And there's something in there, John, that what he does, he say, like he says, okay, who do you think Ray's parents are? Okay, and he gives you 5 options, for example. You select one, then it kind of spits back and says, okay, this is what everybody else has thought. And he gives you a percentage of what other people's options are. So he kind of does that as a calculation in Google Sheets, which I thought was awesome. So what people answer, you can see, 23% answered A, 52% answered C. It's really quite engaging.
Neat.
Let me pull it up, if I can find it. Kylo. Yeah, there he is. I got it. It's great. Let me just share it. It gave me loads of ideas. But, okay, so I'm putting it in the chat, yeah?
Yep.
Here we go. Very clever. And did you just click through it, you'll see what I mean.
So let's check out his bot real quick and see what happens. And you see, he's already doing a good job. He's delivering me content only at a rate at which I consume it, right? He's not bombarding me with content. He's giving me a content rate at which literally I'm consuming it.
See what he's done with his cards there. Look at the card at the top, slide left.
Oh, neat. How cute.
Pretty smart, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's like panoramic, but not quite.
Yeah, exactly. Using the technique you use on carousel ads on Facebook. So that's pretty cool. That's exactly what I clicked.
You don't rule me.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But it starts digging deep. But there's a calculation like on the multiple choice that you should have a look at. It's decent.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm really confused now what side I should choose, though. If I should choose the light side or the dark side.
And I like the little options he's got here. Look, the big buttons.
Yeah,
I'm
this
on the
is
light side and I make cookies.
so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and go with the dark side here.
That's exactly what I did.
I'm gonna have to go with the dark side. And that was a good choice. He said, "Hey, what a great choice."
Yeah.
So I really like how he's giving me this content proportional into a manner that I can consume it. Snoke.
Yeah. Now this is going to be interesting. I wonder if we can replicate what he's done here on the multiple choice.
That multiple choice looks like a chat fuel platform for that one with the three
Maybe.
along the bottom.
So here we go. This is what's happening now.
I got one of these things at home too, one of these little robots at home, and my monkey just destroys it all the time.
So the multiple choice is coming up pretty soon. Here we go.
Oh.
So they're asking you, who do you think, where's Ray from?
Yeah,
There's a lot of discussion online, right?
I'm really thinking that she must be a Skywalker, though.
I think the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I clicked on that, but see what the results are. See what everyone else thinks.
I mean, who else could she be? Palpatine? She can't be a Palpatine because Palpatine isn't really. I mean, I don't think she's a Kenobi because Kenobi just wasn't attractive enough, I think, to reproduce. So I'm thinking.
The last scene from the last movie, though. Yeah, she's Skywalker for sure. The sword and everything.
See here, look, now it's giving you the results, and based on everyone's who's answered, it does a calculation and does a percentage of that, which I thought was really neat.
So you guys want to build that?
Yeah,
yes,
love to.
that's neat.
So
That's up my alley.
So let's go in and actually build that guy. Let's go in and build something. So let's do that in DemoBot. And we'll start by creating a new piece of content called survey.
Before starting, I tried before to get the video from the last class and I wasn't able on the chat bot.
For what last class? Today's last class?
I put the keyword for pre-recorded videos and it didn't send me anything.
So you just want to you pre-recorded videos isn't going to work if you do pre-recorded videos. That's not going to work. You want to do pre-training videos.
All right.
And my bot is going to tell me I need to go make a payment, and I don't want to go make a payment, so I'm not going to make a payment.
All right, I'll do it right after this lesson. Thanks for that.
So yeah, you just want to do pre-recorded pre-training videos, and that will.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, again, you're just so messy with words, brother.
What's that?
You're so messy with wording.
Yeah, I can't. I can't spell at all. So for this survey, for this survey, we're going to basically do this. What option will you pick? Let's go to Flow Builder. And then let's go in and give a couple different options.
Well, also, we don't need nothing.
What's that?
No, it's not for you. I was asking someone. Sorry.
I think they gave us 5 options there, so we'll just mimic what they had. We'll give these 5 options. All right.
okay.
So now we've got these different 5 options. So what we want to do is, so here's what we want to do. We want to create a new spreadsheet. And this is going to be called Demo Bot Survey Questions or Answers. And here we want to go in and type in answer, and this is going to be count. And this is going to be total. This is going to be option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, option 5. So there's that. So now we've got our spreadsheet that we need for this. Now let's go back into our content. What we need to do here is we need to go in here, trigger a zap. And we're going to have 6 zaps here that we're going to trigger out. So let's just line those guys up. We're going to have those 6 zaps. And then each of these zaps are going to route into this other zap. And keep in mind, I have no idea how to do this. We're just going to make this up as we go. And I'm pretty sure most likely it will work. If it doesn't work, we'll try a new way. But this should work, I think. Okay, so here's what our survey is going to look like. And we're going to trigger a zap. Survey option 1, increase. So this is going to be increase survey option 1.
Why increase? Just out of curiosity, why are you tagging that as increase?
Because that's what we're literally going to do. We're going to go and increase our spreadsheet value for option 1 with an additional unit.
Okay.
That's the only reason. So now we're going to go in here and do the same thing. We're going to trigger a zap, and this is going to be option 2 that we're going to increase. We're going to trigger a new zap here, and this is going to be option 3 that we're going to increase. We're going to trigger a new zap here, and this is going to be option 4 that we're going to increase. This is going to be a new zap here. This is going to be option 5 that we're going to increase. And then here we're going to trigger a new zap, and this is going to be increase survey total count, where we're going to increase our total count. All right. So there is that. So now I say let's go in and build out these different zaps. So let's create a new zap. And let's go ahead and first pre-populate this with a 0. Pre-populate all those values with the 0 so that our zap fires right. So this is going to be a mini chat trigger. And we're going to trigger when a new zap is triggered. And we're gonna do this on our favorite little guy, the demo bot. And we're gonna trigger this on this guy. So we're gonna fetch and continue. We're gonna continue. We are going to do sheets. Actually, do we want to do sheets? I do want to do sheets, but I really need a mathematical. I really need to inject a. So let's just go ahead and do sheets, and then hopefully we can do this. We're gonna update a spreadsheet row. We're gonna select that account. The spreadsheet that we're gonna use is demo survey answers. We're gonna do that. We're gonna add a search step. We're gonna go ahead and add that. And that search step is going to be that. This is gonna be that. This lookup column is going to be answer. And then answer, as you can assume, is going to be option 1. And let's continue there. So now we got a row. So now we can continue into this guy. And that gave us step 2. But before we go in and do that, we're going to go in and add an action. And we are going to do formatter by Zapier. And we are going to work with numbers. We can either work with numbers, and when we work with numbers, we can transform. We can do some spreadsheet style formula. And we could have done something else. We could perform a mathematical operation, and this would probably be enough for us here if we wanted to do a mathematical operation. So we could just do this. But I think this other guy is going to be fine for us, this spreadsheet style guy, where what we're going to do is we're going to do this guy, and we're going to do his count plus 1. So now we're going to update this. We're going to update this. Hey, we already had that updated. We already got this guy here. So now all we need to do is this count, which is going to be this value here. So that's all we needed to do there.
Can you just kind of give an overview of what that's doing, please, John?
Yeah. That's just updated option 1. So yes, I will give an overview of what that's doing, obviously. So we're going to grab this guy here, and we're going to paste it in here and call this demo bot, because that's what it's for. Now that we have all that done, let's go back in and do exactly and show you exactly what this is doing and kind of slow it down a little bit. Let's see. So this is pretty straightforward. We're just going to trigger this whenever this zap is triggered. So whenever this zap right here is triggered, it's saying that we're going to start this process. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into this demo bot survey answers, and we're going to go in and we're going to look up based on this column right here. We're going to find this row right here. That is the option 1 row. So here we're finding that guy. All right. So this is just returning us back that entire row of data. All right. So here we have a step where we're going to do some mathematical calculation. And all we're going to do is we're going to take this value from step 1. So we took this count value, all right, which is going to be this value right here in count. We're going to take whatever value is here, and we're going to add 1 unit to it. All right. Why are we adding 1 unit to it? Because literally what's going to happen is anytime a user comes in and fills out this survey, if they pick option 1, we're going to trigger that zap, which is going to increment the amount of users who have picked that value by 1 unit. And that's what this guy is doing. It's just doing that increment. It's creating our new value for us. All right. So then finally what we're going to do is we're going to update that spreadsheet row. So what row are we going to update? Well, we're going to update whatever row that we found here in this lookup action, in this step right here. In this step, we find a row and return it. So that row right there, we're actually going to update its count, and we're going to update its count to whatever the new count was coming from this guy right here. So that's pretty straightforward. That's all we're doing. So that makes sense to everybody?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Great.
more or less.
Great. So now the brunt of everything that we need is done. We've finished this guy. Let's see it in our dashboard. Now first let's figure out increase. That was called increase. So let's find increase. There's increase. And then let's just copy this guy. And now let's go edit this guy. And when we edit this guy, lucky for us, all we need to do is two things. We need to change this. So we need to first change this to be option 2. And then we need to change this lookup here to be option 2. Now we're done. Now that guy's completely done. So now they want us to go in and test all this. So let's go in and test all this to make sure that it works. That's been tested. That works. Let's go in, test this step. Let's try again, fetch and continue. That guy was successful. So let's go in and test this guy, continue. That guy was successful. This guy is now successful. Now everybody's actually successful. So let's continue. Let's see if our thing was updated. Our thing was not actually updated. So let's go in and retest this step. Send test sheet to Google. Actually, we need to go in first, test this step, continue. Hey, just let me test that, please. Continue. Retest this step. There's that. Let's go here. Let's continue and see if we can test this guy. So let's retest this step. Let's do that. Let's make sure that that guy, option 2, has now been updated to 1. Great. So now let's come in here. Let's grab this guy. Grab this guy. Let's finish this guy. And then let's go in and turn him on. And let's go back to our dashboard and find increase. And then let's rename this step to increase option 2. Let me just mute you guys all for a second. Sorry about that, but somebody is going crazy, so I'm just going to mute you for a second. You guys can unmute yourself at any time unless you have a bunch of noise in the background, because I will mute you again. So anyways, now there's those 2 steps. And as you can assume, what we're going to do is we're just going to copy these guys over and over and over again. So we got this guy. We're going to copy this guy. And we're basically going to do the same thing here. We need to go grab option 3. And come on, Zapier. So we want to come in here and we want to change this to option 3. Let's go ahead and continue and test this guy. Great. Now let's come in here and edit this guy. And the lookup value should be option 3. So let's continue. Let's test that guy. Great. Let's continue. Let's come in here. Test this guy. Great. Let's come in here. Test this guy. Great, let's check that guy and see. Nope, was not so great. So let's come back over here. Let's retest this guy. Find out why did you. Answer is empty. Why are you empty? I don't understand why you're empty. Let's come back over here and test something again. Let's edit this guy. Let's continue. Let's go ahead and retest this step. There we go. Let's continue. Edit this guy. Let's come in here. 5. He says that's 5. That is 5, so that's correct. So let's continue with this guy. And let's see if I can do a little test on this guy. It's not being updated. No problem. I just muted you, man. If you guys want to be noisy, yell, scream. Just mute yourself when you're doing it. And I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe we're crashing Zapier. I know we crashed Zapier the other day, or somebody crashed Zapier. But we just need to wait and see. I'm not sure what Zapier is doing right now, so let's come back here. Come on, Zapier. There we go. Let's retest this guy. Let's do that. It says that it sent that. Oh, option 3 has been updated. Great. Let's go ahead and grab option 4. Because like I said, as you can imagine, we are just going to continuously copy and paste the same Zap. We're going to do this over and over and over again. Going to go ahead and rename this guy to option 3 and remove that copy. Going to save that guy. And we're going to go in and we're going to copy this guy. And then we're going to do it again. We're going to come back in here. We're going to edit this guy to fire on option 4. And we're going to continue. And we're going to fetch and continue. And we're going to continue. And we're going to come here, edit these options. This is going to be option 4. So we will continue. We will fetch and continue. Great. That was successful. So now we got this guy. So let's continue. Let's retest this guy. Great. Let's continue. Let's go to this guy. Great. Let's continue. Let's retest this guy. Great. Let's see if that guy was updated to 1. He was updated to 1. So great. What that means is we can finish this guy, turn this guy on. We're almost done. I know this is real boring because it's the same thing over and over and over again. And trust me, if you guys are bored watching it, I'm really bored doing it. But we're almost done. We got 2 more of these guys to create, and then our survey will be done. So let's go in and copy that guy. And let's do the same thing. We got that option 5 already. So let's go in, edit this guy, change him to option 5, continue, fetch and continue, continue. Now the only thing that I'm not going to like is how we deliver this guy. So haven't thought about how we deliver that guy. So I will think about that while we build the rest of this out, because I know I can only get 1 data at a time, and I don't literally want to go out and, I mean, I guess essentially I could have 1 Zap that would go in and grab every piece of data, but I really don't want to do that because then I have to have 8 steps in that Zap. But we might just go ahead and have 8 steps in the Zap because that could be the easiest way to do it. The other option is to push all these down as custom fields. So, hey, let's come back here and edit this guy. Continue. Let's retest this guy. Great. Continue. Let's come in here, edit this guy, continue. And let's retest this step. Let's send this to Google. Great. Did you update my guy? Yes, you did. Great. Thank you so much. This guy's finished. Let's turn him on. Let's go back to our dashboard. Let's rename this guy. Let's save that guy. And then let us copy this guy and go one more time and grab this guy right here and do the same thing. Whenever this is increase survey total count, continue, fetch and continue, look up some spreadsheet row. We want to look up the total. Let's continue. Let's fetch and continue. Great, let's continue. Let's run this step right here. Let's continue. Let's retest this step. Great, we got a 1. Let's continue. Let's update this guy. Let's continue. Let's retest this step. Now everybody has been updated. Awesome. So let's reset our survey values. Let's come here to here. Let's come to this guy, trigger this zap. Let's grab this guy, take him back over here, and rename this guy to that demo bot. Let's save that guy, and let's turn this guy on. Great. Now, once that has been done, let us go and do another zap. And in this zap, we are going to do fetch survey results. So now let's trigger that zap out. Great. So now let's come in here to Zapier and make a new zap. And this zap, unfortunately, has to have a lot of steps because we have to go in and get every single one of those values. And then, actually, we want to get every single one of those values. We probably want to perform multiple calculations on those values.
John, quick question, if I may.
Yeah, what's that?
Could you not do the calculation on row 2, column 2, and do the addition there, the sum there, and then just pull that calculation?
Sure can, buddy, and thank you so much for recommending that because that is a much smarter way. So let's go ahead and do that. That is a much smarter way to do that.
Para mí sí.
So that does work. So that's fine. So we still have to go in and look up all these values. And then if we look up all these values, we'll be holding that and we can actually build our content out. So we triggered some zap called fetch survey results. So we want to do this whenever a new zap is built. And we're going to do this from DemoBot. And this is going to be fetch survey results. Fetch and continue. And you know what? Just to go ahead and make it that we don't ever send any of these stupid things back to our user, let's go ahead and pre-populate this with a 1 because it's not going to really affect anything so much. Actually, it will affect something so much. These guys will all get a 1 back, right? So let's do this. Let's pre-populate that guy with a 5. And that won't affect everything so much, right? We can just go in, and I think that's fine. Go in and leave everything like that because now everybody is going to get by default 20% back. So if we give back a 0, I mean, we could do that if we give back a 0. And actually, it seems like as long as we give a value here, then we're fine. So as long as we have one value here, then we're going to be fine. So as long as we have one value there, which we will get, then I think we'll be fine, right? As soon as we have one value there, everybody goes to 0. So we'll be fine there. So no issues whatsoever there. So now let's continue. And here we want to use the Sheets, Google Sheets. We want to look up a spreadsheet row. Save and continue this spreadsheet here. So we want to use this worksheet. We want to use this guy right here. Answer. And we want to get option 1. And then let's just go ahead and rename this to option 1. So let's continue. Fetch and continue. Great. We got that. Now it would be so awesome if they would just let me clone this guy and make a new one of those, but they're not. So let's add another step. We're going to have 6 of these steps, all be in Google Sheets to look up all of these different options. But that's not a big deal. We can create those guys pretty easily. Let's grab our next option, option 2. Let's go in here. Jump. Let's continue that. Great. Must have got some value back. So let's go ahead and rename this to option 2. Great. Let's add a new step. Gonna be Google Sheets. As you can imagine, we're gonna do this exact same thing 6 times. So we're gonna do it 4 more times, 3 more times after this one. And if you guys find this really boring and you're just telling yourself, you know, hey, if I choose bot building as a career, I'm going to be super fucking bored all the time because this looks really boring. Well, guess what? You can always just hire somebody from my company to do it for you, and then we will just do all the boring work for you, and you can just do all the sales and focus on that. If not, then feel free to do this on your own over and over and over again. It is pretty simple, just a little boring sometimes. So now we got a guy there. Let's rename this guy to option 4. And let's add a new step. It's going to be the exact same step. So the rates really depend on what level of resource that you want. But this bot builder guy would only be $500 a month. If you wanted this guy, you'd get 140 hours. If you do a dedicated month, and that is going to be $500 a month. So it translates to about 360 or $3.60 an hour. So much cheaper than your time. I could guarantee that it's going to be much cheaper than your time. If you want to get that rate, then yeah, you need to buy them for the whole month. If not, then I'll give you an hourly rate, but it's just going to be high. It's just going to be higher than if you have them on a dedicated basis. So if you have them on a dedicated basis, obviously I'll give you a lot bigger break on rate, because that guy is consumed for his entire month, and I don't have to worry about him for that month. You've got him busy for that month. So how many bots can he build for you in a month? That really depends on the level of bot that you're wanting to build. So you can see, I mean, so for example, we built this Italian restaurant bot. I mean, how long did it take us to build this bot, guys? It's taken us, I mean, me doing it online with you guys, literally we've built this entire bot in our training sessions. So maybe it's taken us 6 hours total to build this bot with some initial dialogue. So my resource can build this, and trust me, my resources are pros like me, because literally I spend 3 months training them how to do this shit. So they can do stuff just as fast and just as easy as me, if not faster and easier, because they don't have the distractions of having to run an entire company like I have. So they just only have to do that thing. So they can build, I would say they could build at least 4 bots for you, very complex bots. They can build at least 4 a month that are complex, because that's going to allow them 35 hours per bot per week. And most bots won't take that long. So let's say between 4 to 8, they can easily build you depending on the complexity. And then you can focus all your time just on doing the sales. Or you can focus all your time building the bots, whatever you want. So now we've got all our options, right? Now we need one more thing. We need to go in and actually grab our total. Yeah, I would say totally he could finish. I mean, he could finish that Italian bot. I mean, literally, like I said, it took us 6 hours maximum so far to build it. And that's about how much time it would be taking that guy, is about 6 hours. Whatever time it takes me is just about the same amount of time it's going to take him. Because anything that he doesn't understand, I'm just easily going to tell him really quickly, but he already understands everything anyways. So yeah, it's a great value for your money. Or like I said, you can just build them on your own. So you guys just have to put in perspective what you really value at. Me, I like to do what I'm really good at. So if you guys are better at getting clients and nobody else can get clients, and you guys should really be focusing your time on getting clients. And then once you actually get the client, then you should be, hiring one of my guys to actually build a bot, so that you don't have to spend, 15 of your hours building the bot. You can spend those 15 hours finding a new client. So this is going to be total. So I believe we got everything that we need now. Yep. So let's add another step. This last step will finally be ManyChat, and we're going to send a text message back to this guy. And the text message that we're going to send is going to be the survey results. And we're going to use another custom value, and this value is going to be that value. And this is just going to be cool. We really thought the same thing. Here's what other we surveyed. I'm pretty sure that's the right field there that we want. We surveyed count. Yep. We surveyed count. Option 1, count. Sure thing, man. I will in a little bit after we do this. So this is option 2. And this is percentage. Right. Option 3. Claro, tú sabes, Sergio, que nosotros podemos hablar español igual que podemos hablar inglés. Español no es ningún problema para mí. Si quieres, yo te puedo mostrar un video en donde yo estoy enseñando como unos niños de como, digamos, 10 años cómo programar una computadora. So, option 3. So, in case you guys didn't understand that, that just basically meant, yes, I can speak Spanish just fine. And actually, you know what we really wanted to do? I think we really want to go in and have one more. We want to have one more value. We want to have one more value. And we want to come back in here now. And unfortunately, we got to come in here and test this step. And we want to come in here, test this step. Because we want to get that good percent. Because we want to express the percent not as a decimal value. We want to present it as an actual percent. So that's what we did. All we did was go to our spreadsheet and modified so that we're not expressing our percentage as a decimal value. We're presenting it as an actual numeric value instead of as a decimal, because we're going to add a percent sign after it. And since we're going to add a percent sign after it, if we don't want to show them that it's 0.2%, because then they're going to be like, hey, this math doesn't add up. So whoever built this bot isn't real smart. So we want them to know that we're genius people. So we're just going to go in and provision that. And then we'll go back in here now. And hopefully here we should be able to go in now and find this good percent. Yep. And then we can do that. And then we can do the same thing here. Find this option 2, good percent, and do that. And find this option 3, good percent, and do that. I'm not quite sure why there's no value there, but. And we'll go in and choose this option 4, count. And go in and add in his good percent. Go on and find his good percent. And I think that's it. That's enough for our message, right? Only the message doesn't look so great here, right? The message does not look so great here. No big deal. No big deal. We can go in and actually change that out by, we could go in and change that by sending back a custom piece of content, and we can send out a custom piece of content. And we can do that pretty easily. How could we do that though? Yeah, but I don't really want to do that. So hopefully this text message will suffice. And that guy's done. So now our survey's done. So now there's only one thing left for our survey. All right. Only one thing left for our survey. Let's publish that guy. And then let's come in here to our growth tools. And let's create a new growth tool. This growth tool is going to be a messenger ref URL. And then let's replace this guy with survey. So now that guy's replaced with survey. Let's call this guy survey. Direct link. And then let's save that guy. And then let's go to the setup step. Let's copy this guy. And I don't think we have the option to put in a line break. So let's see if we can do this with Formatter by Zapier, and let's do some text. Transform, convert Markdown to HTML, blah, 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 capitalize, convert to ASCII default value, blah, 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 remove HTML tags, replace, blah, 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 blah. What did that guy tell us? He said, convert Markdown to HTML, add your Markdown format, blah, blah, blah. So let's see what that looks like if we convert Markdown to HTML. No, I don't think this is going to work for us. I don't think this is what we want to do at all. So, I mean, worst case scenarios, let's just try it. Nope. This is not the option that I want. This is not the option that I want. So let's try another formatter real quick. Let's try another formatter, and let's try a text, and let's just basically convert this HTML. Let's see if we can convert Markdown to HTML, remove HTML tags. Input is going to be this guy, that guy. Continue. Nope.
You should be able to add your paragraph tags now, there, shouldn't you?
No, because he's stripping all those tags. So my other option is we could send out multiple messages. I can either send out this one message, or let's go in here and edit this template. So let's try this one more time. Step 10 has an error. What error could this be? I don't want any error here. I don't think this guy could have an error. Continue. Add this guy. Continue. Add this guy. So now, if you guys could go in and just test that out for me real quick while I use the bathroom real quick. Now I've seen a couple people have actually, I saw a couple of you guys went in and testing it. So let me go ahead and test it too and see what happens whenever I test it, what kind of data I get back. I'll pick option 1. So yeah, that looks great. Actually, both of them really look great. Neither one of them actually looked that bad. So now I could just go in obviously and change this. Nobody picked option 5 or 4. None of you guys like option 5 or 4? I guess not. I guess you guys don't like option 4 or 5.
That's funny.
But you can see now we've given back literally almost exactly. So we could have obviously went in and
Yeah,
changed
man.
this. And
5
done something
sucks.
really. What's that? Yeah, 5 does suck.
Yeah, five sucks.
We could go in and change this, right, to something very similar to what they have here. 18% chose option 1, 27% chose option 2. So we could go in and change that really easy in that format if we wanted to. That's no big deal. We could go in and say, let's come back in here, edit this guy, not edit that guy. Let's go in and edit this guy to say, this. We can go in and say,
Yeah, it needs to round up the percentages as well, though, because you're getting kind of like recurring 333, 666. Even know.
where is that? Yeah, it looks like it's rounding everything up fine, is what it looks like to me. I don't see any recurring here, so it's rounding everything up, it looks like. But we could go in and put in some, I think we could do some round function. Equals round. Yeah. So we could go in and do that, right? We could go in and put some round function in our spreadsheet. Really easy, where we could just go in here, put in that guy. We could do that, right?
Yeah.
No big deal there. And then we can come back in here and say, so I'm curious. I'm curious if you guys learned how to build some type of survey like this that returns back the results in that $2,000 bot class that you paid for. I'm just gonna assume that that's a big no. So there's that, and I think we can really delete this step here, and I think we can really delete this formatter step here because we don't need that, and I think we can go in and delete this step as well because we don't need that. And then I think that I can just come in here. And so if you guys are all getting that, then fine. What we can do, if you guys are getting that and you don't like that, then we can go in here. We can copy this guy. And we can take him and put him in there and then close this guy. And then we can take this guy and we can put him in there. And we can close that guy and we can take this guy and we can put him in there. And we can put that guy in there. And then we can come in here. We can take this guy and we can put that guy in there. The only issue that I have with that is obviously we could get to a point here since we're rounding everything up that since we're rounding everything, we're not rounding it up or down. We could get to a point here where I think this guy could end up, and actually he's already doing this. He's 60 here, 40 here. So this just doesn't actually make sense here. 60% of these guys, 3, 5. So somebody didn't fire here where he actually needs to have 6 there. 3, 4, 5, 6. So 17, 35, that guy's perfect. So somebody didn't actually fire off that last guy. So no big deal there. So now let's go in. This guy's on. Let's go in and try this guy again. And I think I'm just going to pick option 4 or 5 since nobody else will pick that option. Then let's pick option. I will pick option 5. Let's see if we can get option 5 to increment. Increment. There we go. Get my thing back. So we can see we surveyed 7 people. So we just need to go in and get rid of this guy.
John.
Yeah.
I just sent you a message. It's quite funny, really. It's from Chatbot Summit. It's just come up in my feed. Sent 5 minutes ago, and there's a button saying send a message.
Mm-hmm.
Click on send. I've just sent it to you. You should have it in demo bot.
Where is demo bot at? Don't see it in demo bot.
No? Well, anyway, it's Chatbot Summit. And send a message. Click send a message, and it says content not found. You wouldn't expect that from a Chatbot Summit, would you? Really? You'd think someone would test that before they, pull the trigger.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't expect to spend $2,000 on a bot class and not learn shit neither, but it's happening every day, man. So you wouldn't expect to spend $500 on a bot class and just fucking learn how to send gifts back in the bot. So a lot of stuff you wouldn't expect is just happening every single day. So
let's try again.
So you can see we've successfully stole this guy's thing, right? So we successfully went in and rebuilt that survey and basically did what my man Dennis would call a bot hack. So we've successfully hacked this bot and looked at the concept that they've actually implemented, and we just went ahead and implemented it on our own in maybe 20 minutes. And most of that 20 minutes was just some real repetitive stuff where we had to repeat the same thing over and over and over again. But now we got a survey in our bot, right? And now people can go in and they can take some survey and we can deliver back the survey results. So that would be a great thing to implement in our bot.
Cool. I've got a bot I'd like to share with you if you can want to have a look at it.
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah. So it's for a hotel, and the idea is to give information on the rooms, rates, and how to contact us and make a booking online if they wanted to.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone, guys. Thanks for all that content. So let's just try that again and see if you really just
I'm not sure that shouldn't have happened.
Let's just try one more time and see what's going on.
I think that might be, that's better.
So there we go. Welcome and thank you and your interest in Hotel Casa Cielo. So Heaven House. Would you prefer chat content in English? Let's go ahead and go with the English one. Okay. So let's click the big button that says click to continue. This is our options menu. Here's the options menu. Is this the same options menu here? Make a booking, contact us. Make a reservation, our rooms, contact us. So I'm not sure why they wouldn't have our rooms over here. But let's take a look at their rooms and see what type of rooms they got. So this, I'm just not liking how they're just spamming me with a bunch of content and they're not giving me a chance to read it before they give me a bunch of it. So they should They said, I mean, what's the point of giving me an image if as soon as you give me an image, I don't get to see it? I mean, that's pretty stupid to give me an image. At least give me an image, wait a couple seconds, let me look at that image, then give me some content, let me read it. But they're a small hotel, blah, blah, blah. Hey,
I
John,
built this one.
let's browse our rooms. Do you have an executive suite? Because I want the executive suite. Because all these guys on my training, I'm sure, are going to donate me some money, and I will be able to afford this king room
Yeah,
lodge.
if you go over, yeah, you can check availability.
So let's check that. So here they're just going to pipe me off to a website. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And pipe me off to some website there. View room details. Here they're going to deliver me the content in the bot. Okay, so most of everything that they did here, see, they just piped me off some content. Here they probably should have broken down this content. Like, why give me this image and then make me scroll back up, man? It's just dumb. Give me some, maybe give me a gallery, let me look at that, then give me some of this information. So I'm assuming, are you are you being serious right now? Because I'm totally trolling you, Steve.
No, man. No, you're trolling me, man, and it's my bot.
Yeah, buddy. So
it's
totally,
cool. It's cool. I'm taking it all on board.
Yeah, just slow me down a little bit, man. Let me enjoy this image and see this nice image. There's no reason for you to give me this image and then bam, 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 give me all this content. Slow down a little bit. Let me.
The thing is, I've got like 3 seconds on there, and sometimes I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but like when you put that delay in, sometimes that delay don't count for shit. Sometimes it just kind of loads straight away.
Sometimes it does. So here they're gonna pipe me off to a website again, right?
Mm-hmm.
No problem there. I don't mind going off to a website. What's this exclusive discount though? Okay, let's claim this.
Which that loads a link with a special coupon that's not advertised anywhere.
Right. Sorry, D. Just had to kill you for a little bit.
The thing is they I don't know if ManyChat can access APIs, but I'd love to kind of get to not pipe people off onto this booking engine and kind of search the API for availability all inside the bot. That would be
so you can access APIs with ManyChat, but to do that, you need to use this webhooks by Zapier. Okay. So for ManyChat, if you want to access any API, you need to use a webhook by Zapier. All right. So you need to use that as something that you're going to post to. And then in order to use it, let's just look at this guy right here and just add him into the bottom here. Webhooks by Zapier. Mm-hmm. So here you've got put, post, custom request, and get. All right. So if you know anything about APIs, you'll understand what these guys are. And then
I understand the logic, but I can't. It's doing my head in. Kind of, I could do with a crash course on API. I understand how it works in my mind. It all makes sense.
So my big suggestion here then, Steve, my biggest suggestion here is just going to be go ahead and hire one of my engineers. I'll give you one for $500 a month. They'll give you 140 production hours. They already understand APIs, how to build them, how to use them, how to make API calls, and then just point them in the right direction of the API that you're wanting to call, and then they can go in and implement these types of things for you. So, but this is what you would use. You would use this. And this just basically allows you to pick what you want to do, get, post, patch, delete, what API you want to call. This gives your actual API. Here's your data pass through, what you're going to actually give. Here's going to be your actual data where you're going to put in your JSON or XML, whatever the actual data that you're going to put in. Here's basic auth if you want to do any type of auth. Here's the headers. Sometimes you can't do basic auth like this. You have to actually pass some auth token in your actual header. So whenever you point us to the direction in your API, I'm assuming that these guys have some actual API. So or wherever these guys, even maybe these guys are just pulling in and they're resellers for somebody else and they're pulling in data for somebody else's API.
No, this is
So,
this is the booking engine from the that we use. So they do have an API, and I've been looking at it because I'd much prefer to. Ideally, in the bot, I'd love to have somebody to say, right, okay, looking for what month do you want to stay? January. How many nights? 2 nights. What's your check-in, check-out date? I mean that, and to kind of pull back an array of options would be sweet. Because it takes time, when you kind of pipe out to that page, it's depending on your connectivity. It can be a bit slow loading and all that sort of stuff. It'd just be great if it was all fast inside the bot,
Yeah. So for that, it's totally doable. I mean, you can totally do it. But for that, you want to, like I said, you need to use this.
Yeah.
This webhooks by Zapier. If you use that webhooks by Zapier, that goes in and allows you to post data and then get back the response data from the API. So now the only issue that you have there, though, obviously, is if your API is going to dump back several results and it's going to give me back several results, well then we're going to, I mean, obviously you don't want to just give some huge text message to these guys, right? And dump off a huge text message. So, but we can go in and handle that with formatters. So with Formatter, we can go in and handle that and actually format that data that we get back. We're most likely going to get a JSON object back from your API. So we can go in and actually format that JSON object, and then have multiple steps where we're passing back multiple messages.
Yeah, because what would be good is just like a message saying, yep, we have availability, call us now for best rates. So, that would be amazing, just to kind of check.
Yeah,
say,
so
that would
so
be, you don't have to split the array back and just say, yes, we've checked the system, it is available, you need to call us now.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
So that would be totally possible. We'd hit your API, get a response back, and that response, we'd be looking to see some value, a Boolean value, yes, available, no, not available. If yes, available, then what we would do is just do something just like you said. We'd continue if yes, or we could actually do something like we did before here with this guy. If you remember, we did some cool stuff here with this guy where we did something like this guy right here. If you remember this, where we just set some custom field value and then popped out a content. So we could do that. We could set some custom field value, rooms available. That value would be yes, no, right? And then we could just push out this content response. And then either if yes, then send this. If no, send that. That way we're not sending just a generic message. We can send an actual contextual message based on that response. So we could do something like that relatively easy, no problem.
Sweet. All right, mate. Well, that's good to know. So just send me some info about hooking up, and then I can look at that and see what's. Yeah.
Yeah. And this, I'm still liking this, by the way. I mean, this was a pretty good piece of content. It looks nice. If we could get our client to, come off a little bit of money to get some custom graphic design done so that all these designs are actually really branded to him and matching his brand, then this guy should be more than happy with his bot, because we're delivering some real beautiful custom content based on these conditions, what the order status is. Now, if we could have each one of these pieces of content be branded to him, have a little picture, a little watermark of his logo, and maybe his actual kitchen, maybe his actual pickup counter, maybe his actual delivery truck, maybe his actual delivery guy delivering something at the door, maybe somebody actually picking up an order. Then if he could give those custom images and that custom design, then this guy should be just completely happy and, eager and willing to pay us for this bot, because we've done a really good job there. So anyways, our survey's built. We finished our survey. So now we got a survey. So what else should we do? Should we do anything else, or should we not do anything else?
Well, I feel like I'm just kind of, you know, chatting away here, but there's something I'd love to see. Maybe not on this session, maybe another one.
Well, I'm not getting naked, so that's
That is one thing I don't want to see,
question,
John.
man.
That is one thing I do not want to see.
Okay, well, oh, sorry.
Yeah, go on, Dee, sorry.
Oh, certainly. I was just saying it's loud on this end, so I've been trying to stay muted, but how about like a personality bot or a celebrity bot or somebody who, like a VIP bot of sorts, because you have if you're branding somebody, you're talking about restaurants and hotels and spas and all of these other things, but some people in and of themselves are their brand. So then how can what's a good foundation or base structure for, say, somebody who is like a personality or a character or a celebrity, or they just have several things that they offer. I was looking at it similar to the one where it would have the separate columns so that you could have like speaking of events, book signing events, and then tour events. And so that then each one would have the drop-down menu of like locations, times, and information about who would, let's see, information, times, just other whatever details that would pertain to each one. But what else would be needed for this kind of bot?
So just keep in mind, Dee, that I'm an engineer, and a lot of those questions I can't really answer because I don't really know. And the only way that I would figure them out is to physically be talking to that person and have an open dialogue with that VIP person and find out what pain points I'm going to be actually solving from them with the actual bot. So I'd need to have a dialogue with some type of person, and then whoever it is I'm going to actually do the build for, I need to chat with them for some time and get them spending some time and investing some time and just having open dialogue and communications with me, where I'm going to find out, what they do on a day-to-day basis, what their process is, what they're trying to accomplish, what their pain points are. And from there I could figure out, what their bot should be doing or what other flows should be in their bot. But to generically just come off the top of my head and tell you, like I said, I can't really say that, because part of my process to figure out what your bot should be doing is first I need to be having a conversation with you to figure that out. So we need to go through some open dialogue to find out what it is that you're trying to achieve with your brand. I mean, if you're a VIP person, then I don't know, if you're a VIP person, maybe we could have your schedule in there, where you're going to be at, what you're going to do. Maybe you could request some autograph, right? I could have you do that. You could request me to autograph a t-shirt or a piece of paper or something, and I could send that out to you after you make a payment or something like that. I could maybe deliver you some videos of me doing some stuff or something like that. Not really sure what else I would do if I was a VIP person.
Or like speaking engagements and events, seminars, workshops, or different tours. Some are like musically inclined, or but I think I understand what you're saying. You'd have to pertain it to the. What was that?
Steve speaking here. What you're describing is more about sort of psychographics, more like marketing, which is my speciality. What you need to do, as John said, you need to figure out what their pain points are, and what solutions your bot can provide. I'm just going to share a link with you. There's a tool called the Value Proposition Canvas. Look at that. There's a couple of videos on there, and it explains how to use it. And it's really useful for, if you can figure that out, that say, for example, you had a speaker and you could figure out what they're trying to do, what their pain points are, how they're going to grow, if they've got fears, what are their wins, what are their losses, and then you can build a bot to kind of satisfy that. Then you're going to get clients that way. And that's something I'm working on now.
Yeah, in my selling process, I try to never tell somebody what they need or what I'm going to do for them. I try to always let my client lead themselves into the sale by them telling me what they need, by them telling me what their problems are, by them telling me what I'm going to do for them. Now, once they go in,
you use this canvas in conversation with your potential client or your customer segment, and you use that to kind of draw a map out based on the feedback that they give you. And it does help you kind of make a value proposition that is going to speak to that customer segment. It's a tool worth looking at.
Yeah, and if you go in and tell your client, look, I'm going to build you this and it's going to solve this problem. One, you don't even know if they have that problem yet. If you go in and say, hey, look, I'm going to build you this bot that will let your users know where you're at all times, or it's going to let people book a public speaking engagement with you. So you can take that as one approach, and you can show them, hey, here's the different things that I'm going to build you, and you can do that, and you can still make a sale, but the value of your sale is going to be less, because you're literally proposing to them what you're going to do. If you just ask them some questions, and I saw a guy the other day, and he gave a really valuable piece of content, because they were asking, how do you start your initial bot build? And literally his response was, ask these 5 questions, then shut the fuck up. And that is the best thing that you can do. Ask some probing questions, then just shut up and listen to them. Because now whenever they come in and they tell you that, look, people never know where I'm going to be at. People are always asking me where I'm going to be at, and I have to always go in there and respond. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be there. No one ever knows. Now guess what? You've let them lead themselves into a sale where you can say, hey, well, we can build your bot to tell them exactly where you're going to be at. Now you don't have to spend your time. Now, how much more valuable is that to them, that now they have identified their own pain point, they've identified their own issue, and now you've offered a solution to them instead of just right off the bat telling them, okay, I'm going to do this for you. You'll get a much higher value if you let them tell all their pain points, and then after they've done that, you just listen. Then after that, you just tell them, yeah, I'll solve this one for you. I'll solve this one. I'll solve all of them. You'll get a much higher value from that. When I do my sales, that's how I always do it. Whenever I do my sales with any of my clients, is I let them tell me what I'm going to do for them. I let them tell me what their pain points are, what they're trying to fix, what they're trying to accomplish, and what they essentially want me to do. And then I just go in and reconfirm that, okay, I can do this, I can do this, we can fix this by this, I can fix that by that. And by that point, they lead themselves right into the sale, because they've already identified all these pain points, and they already know, hey, I have this issue, and this guy's taking the time to listen to this issue, instead of just assuming that, well, you must have these problems, so I'll fix these problems for you. And I think that's always a much better way in sales, is to let somebody tell you what issues they're having, what problems they need solved. And then after they tell you that, you just go and confirm, yeah, I can solve this for you. I can fix that for you. We can take care of that for you. We can resolve that for you. This is how much it's going to be. And you'll be able to get a much higher value for the services. So like I said, I don't ever whenever I build bots for people, if I'm going to build a bot for a client, I'm not going to make a bunch of recommendations that, hey, your bot should do this, your bot should do that. Not until first I listen to them. Not until first I spend some time with them telling me what their bot needs to be doing, and with them telling me what their pain points are, what issues they want solved. After they give me enough of that, then I'll go in and reconfirm that we'll make the bot solve all those, we'll fix all those pain points. Then at that point, now anything that they didn't touch on, now as an additional value add, now I can go in and add those things as well. And I can say, yeah, we'll do all those, but we can also do this if you want to do this, and here's the value that will bring. We can also do this. And that's, now they know that I'm a listener. Now they know that I'll listen to them, and I'll understand their problems, and I'll relate and fix their problems. And they also know that I'll bring additional things to the table outside of what they're already noticing. And that makes everything even more and more valuable, which means that ultimately they're going to pay you more.
Good answer, John. A quick question on that, though. You touched on that. You said, yeah, they're going to tell you what they want from their bot. How would you address the situation with they don't really know they need a bot, or they don't know what the bot is? How
They,
how do you overcome that?
yeah, you don't need to know what a bot is, and you don't need to know that you need a bot for you to know what pain points you have. You don't need to know, hey, a bot will fix this. That's my job to come in. It's my job to, you know what your pain points are, you know what issues you're having, you know what problems you're having, you know what tasks are so repetitive and so mundane that you're spending this repetitive time and have this repetitive process. Those things you know already. Now it's my job to go in and listen to those things, and once I extract that information from you, correlate, this is why you need a bot. This is why you need a bot. This is what a bot is. This is how a bot can fix you, right? This is how a bot can serve those things. But I don't necessarily need you to understand what a bot is or to already make a relation that you need a bot. I just need you to actually know what your own pain points are and what issues that you're having or what things you would really like to be able to solve. And then once I understand that information, then I can introduce the concept of a bot. I can explain what it is, and I can explain how it will solve those problems, which will solidify why you actually need the thing.
Cool. Like it. Nice one.
I would much rather prefer my clients don't know what a bot is whatsoever, because if my clients don't know what a bot is at all, then that means I'm offering some magic trick, right? That means I'm offering some, crazy genius level thing that they have no clue about, which makes it much, much more valuable. If these guys already know what a bot is and they already know what these bot platforms are and stuff like that, then the value of my service becomes lower. Even though I can still make it high, it becomes lower as if they don't know. So I prefer clients that have no idea what a bot is. They've never heard of one, because then it becomes really magical and mystic and makes it really easy for me to get a higher value.
Yes. It got loud in here, but I'll real quick, I was going to agree with you completely, because I'm helping a gentleman who's just turned 65 and a gentleman who is 82, and he's been in business for years, and he sees this and he goes, I understand that this is like the cutting edge of where technology is going, and I want to have this. He's like, but I just don't have the head to do it, or the time or the energy. And so it is like creating magic tricks, because of the technology not being something that was of their time or what they can truly conceptualize, but that how it's in turn going to increase the value of their business, and also giving them some time as well to truly be hands-free of it and walk away and truly retire. Because if you're 82 years old and you're still just going hard because that's the kind of personality type you are, it would be nice to have all of this kind of stuff handled. And so I appreciated that. That was nice. Sorry, I had to pipe up even though it was loud. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Amar, how do you deal with a client who don't know what the bot can do, and they think it can handle everything and maybe turned off when they're asking for too many things that is hard to be done by the bot? So just so you know, the bot can do everything. Where we're limited on what the bot can do is whenever we choose an open source platform to build our bot. Now, when we choose an open source platform like ManyChat to build our bot, then that's when we start to actually run into limitations of the bot. But if we want to do a custom bot build, that bot can do anything. If we choose a custom bot build, we have no limitations to what the bot can do. The bot can literally do anything. You want to do a custom bot build, then literally anything that you're going to do in the bot, I can take it as a voice input. You could give me voice input and just talk to the bot, and the bot could give you back voice responses as well. So that I can accomplish if we do a custom bot build. So we're not limited to what we can do by the bot unless we choose an open source bot building platform like ManyChat or ChatFuel. If we want to do a custom bot, then we're completely unlimited. So if a client goes in and if a client, if they don't know what the bot can do, then that's completely fine. If they have no idea what a bot is and what a bot can do, fine, no problem there. It's our job to go in and, like I said, identify their pain points, so that once we identify those pain points, we can relate to them how the bot can solve those pain points to make the bot appear to be very valuable to them, because they can now, even if they don't fully understand what a bot is, I mean, honestly, we should be able to explain a bot to anybody, because it's not a hard concept. I've got Marva. She comes to our training sessions. She's like 75 years old. All right. This lady's literally like 75 years old, and she runs a group. She manages a group of other senior citizens who are pushing past 60, and they're business owners, and she's training them on how to build bots, and she's getting them encouraged into bots. So if a 75-year-old lady can build bots herself, take my training and learn how to build complex bots, and then teach a whole group of senior citizens how to implement basic bots for their Facebook page, I'm really confident that any of us could go in and explain to anybody what a bot is and make them understand what a bot is, right? So if they don't know what a bot is, fine, no problem. That we can explain to them. If they don't know what a bot can do, also no problem. We don't actually even need to explain to them what a bot can do. What we need to do is listen to their pain points and what issues they're having, and from there extrapolate ideals on how we can solve those pain points with the bot, and then relate to them that a bot could fix this in this way. We could set up the bot to do this, that will solve that pain point. Now they can begin to actually understand what the bot can do. And I'm not going to get bothered if they ask for too many things that are going to be hard for the bot to do, because if they start asking for complex functionality, hell yeah, balls to the wall. Let's get even more complex, because now this goes from a $2,000 bot build to a $15,000, $20,000 bot build, and I'm all about that money. So yes, please, let's get even more complex things. Let's not have a generic template bot. Let's not have a pseudo functional bot. Let's have a bot that is fully functional, that can do anything that you want. And then, yeah, you're gonna pay for that, obviously, and you're gonna pay obviously a higher fee for the bot, and you're going to pay a higher monthly maintenance fee, because now there's a lot more maintenance for me to do. I got to host the application myself. And then if any changes need to be done, then I got to get my engineers to go in and actually make those changes. So I've got myself no queries, no complaints. If they want a real custom bot. Now, if you guys find yourselves dealing with clients and they want a really, really custom bot, and you can't build custom bots yourself, well, then at that point, you can always just reach out to me, and I can give you a really good deal working with my engineers who can build those custom bots. Or you can default back. And if you don't want to offer that route, then you can just let them know. I mean, if you don't want to offer a custom bot because you can't build it yourself and you're not comfortable hiring me or hiring some other company to build it for you, then how do you get around that? Inflate the price. You just inflate the price, right? And if it's normally going to be $20,000 for this bot, now it's $60,000 or $70,000 for the bot. So you just go in, inflate the price for that custom bot, so now you price it completely outside of their tangible range, and they don't have an option but to go with the lower, less functional version that you can build and deploy yourself. If you can't make a profit margin, Amir, if you can't make a profit margin if you hire my company and we build a bot for you and you can't make a profit margin on that, then the issue's not with me and my price, the issue's with your pricing model. So I would just be completely transparent and tell you that if you can't make a margin on and make a profit, even giving us the job and having us build it, if you don't have any profit, it's because you don't have a very good pricing scale. So No one can really compete with me. Very few people can compete with the price that I can get, because I decided to pack up my luxurious life in the United States, move to a foreign country, live over here, and start another branch in my office over here so that I could take advantage of something that we know as economies of scale. So very few people can compete with my prices. And if you can't make a profit margin on my prices, then buddy, you need to reevaluate your pricing structure, because you're just not charging enough. Trust me, the company that I used to work at, before I started my own company, was a company called Smashing Boxes. My job there was a project manager. All right. If you and I were to have a phone conversation at my last job, right? If we were to be on the phone call, I know just in that initial phone call with me, I know before you could ever get to me, my gatekeeper has already collected a $25,000 deposit, and we have done nothing. Literally, this is how a software firm works. We have done nothing. Okay. We have invested maybe 2 hours maximum having some account manager have general conversations with you. Now, once you exhaust those 2 hours, if you want to reach an engineer like me, a project manager who can go in and begin to extract data from you and begin to actually plan out what we're going to build, I know by the time I have a meeting scheduled with you, I know you've already given my company a $25,000 deposit just to talk to me on the phone, completely non-refundable deposit. And that is a very standard practice in software engineering. I mean, the average market value for a development firm is minimum $150 in the US production hour. When I worked at Smashing Boxes, we charged low rate $225, high rate $275 per hour is what we charged. So if you can't make money on my prices and still outpace your competition anywhere, then you need to rethink your pricing model. You know, what I tell people to do is I do this all the time. I just signed a client earlier today, and the way that I sign a client is I just go in and tell him, like, look, this guy wanted a mobile application for me. I told him he had a $5K budget. I told him, no, I can't work with $5K. I need a minimum $16K to build this application. But I'll tell you what, you take this same conversation that we had. I even gave him a recording of the conversation. You have the same conversation with any local software firm anywhere in your state. And if they quote you anything less than $50,000 to build the same application that we talked about, I'll build your fucking application for free. I won't charge you a dime, because I guarantee the lowest quote that you're going to get is $50,000, because I know how the software industry works, because I've been in it for 13 years. So like I said, if you can't make a profit, then you just need to reevaluate your pricing structure, but you can totally make a profit. And if you can't, don't hire me. Learn how to build it on your own, or like I said, inflate your prices on a custom bot, and then just have them go with the bot that's built on an open source platform, which clearly I've showed you guys enough in this training that even a bot built on these platforms, we can make functional, and we can make a much more functional bot than what people understand you can do on ManyChat. Just with a little bit of brain power, we can make a very functional bot. I mean, this Italian restaurant bot, this guy's pretty functional, and he does a lot of stuff. And he's built on ManyChat, and we've spent maybe 6 hours most we spent maybe 10 hours most in here building this guy, and he's pretty functional. So
Hey, John.
hey, what?
Would you mind giving me a hand with my bot, please?
Yeah, sure.
Can I share my screen and let you know what's up with it?
Yeah.
All right, thanks for that. How do I turn on screen sharing? Wait.
It should be there somewhere. I know it's available to everybody to share screens.
Yeah, I think I've already found it. Right? You see my screen right now?
Yep.
All right. So it's here in content, right? As you know already, I'm letting everyone know. I have a repair phone service, and I have to fix phones. That's my job, right? Or the job of my team. Thing is, I have Martin. I have like 7 or 8 different phones to fix, and I may have like 6 or 7 different types of problems that I can fix with the phones. So here's a list of the phones I can fix, and there will be another list of the problems that I can fix on the phones, right? Like battery, screen, and whatever. So I want my bot to let you know the price of the thing we are repairing. When you imagine you choose iPhone 5, and then it's a battery issue, then I want the bot to let the customer know what's the pricing for that specific action. And after that, I want to be able to send them a coupon that actually takes like 10 or 20% out of the price if they don't take the sell when they enter this flow. You get me?
Yeah.
And I don't know how to make that. You know, I've done already the part with the phones. I have a custom message already saved here. I have an iPhone type, so it will recognize what iPhone I'm fixing right now. But the pricing thing, I cannot handle it. Can you please help me with it?
Well,
Discounts.
the pricing thing, I
know my prices, right?
Yeah, so the pricing thing, I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the best way for you to actually handle that pricing thing. So you could do something like this, all right, where you have iPhone.
I'll stop sharing my screen so I know what my prices are. I know through my market, you know, I want the bot to pick up from maybe a list that if you choose iPhone 5 and battery, the price will be 1.
Yeah.
And
so,
after that, yeah.
So that you could totally do.
How?
That you could totally do. Just make some spreadsheet like this, right?
Wait, I'll stop sharing my screen. Now, can you see? I can see you. I cannot see your screen. Wait.
Should be able to.
Wait.
I still see your screen, so so if you want to stop sharing your screen, because I still see your screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still see yours. So just stop sharing your screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, it works now?
Nope, still see your screen. There you go.
All right, I did it.
So now you should be good.
Yeah.
Now you can see me.
Mm-hmm.
So just make something like this, right? iPhone 6 battery, iPhone 5 battery, iPhone 4 battery. So just make something like this. It would be phone type dash service type, right?
All right.
Okay. And then over here, put in price, $299, et cetera, et cetera. Okay.
All right.
And then over here in your flow, collect their phone type in a phone type variable, collect their service type in a service type variable, and then just have some zap that goes into this spreadsheet here. And it looks, and you just basically annex the 2 values. You're going to go in and say, hey, I want to look up from this spreadsheet a value. I want to look up from this spreadsheet in this column right here, where the value is equal to phone type dash service type. And then just look up that value. That will be right over here. And then you're done.
All right, and then for the discounts, I have to just what? If I get a coupon for that people. I have to do something else with it, right?
So then for the coupons, okay, so for the coupons, you want to, what should trigger that coupon being sent out to the user?
Imagine, I let you know what my service is. You don't, after you don't choose to actually fix it with me, then I'll ask you tomorrow, why haven't you fixed it? And if you tell me that the reason is pricing, then I will let you know that I can make something for you and give you a 10% discount for it. And try and see if you're willing to fix it already.
So it doesn't sound like you need to offer a physical code or anything for a coupon. You could just literally have a flow where, so at the end of your process, you give them a price and they either book now or so they have a call to action, book now. All right. So if they book now, then you take them to the flow where they can go in and book for the service and everything. If they don't book now, then you can add them to some sequence where after 24 hours, they're going to get a message. And that message would be like, hey, we talked yesterday. You didn't book this service. Is there a reason you didn't book this service? And let's say one of those issues is price. So they click price. Now you can literally just give them a static discount right inside the bot. And you can just say, okay, I understand that price is an issue. I can give you a 10% discount. Will that help you out? If I give you a 10% discount, will that help you out?
And that value I can take it from the same table, right?
Well, you can, but literally at that point, you don't really need to do anything. You've already given them the price and you're just physically going to tell them, hey, I'm going to give you a 10% discount. I mean, you could add in that extra complexity, but it's not really necessary. You could physically just tell them, hey, look, I'll give you a 10% discount. Do you want to book now? Yeah, I want to book. Yeah. Okay, great. Now, whenever they come into your facility, I'm assuming that they're going to be like, hey, you were going to give me a 10% discount. So I came to get my things serviced, and you could just at the brick and mortar location, just take appropriate action there and be like, yeah, so I told you yesterday it was going to be $2.99. So I'm going to give you a $29 discount and make it less than $2.99.
Well, thing is, I don't have a facility. I have a delivery phone service, so it doesn't matter. I already got your point.
Yeah, you could just look up you can just look them up in there and find out. You could just I'd assume you'd go into ManyChat, you'd look them up by their name, and then you could see if you gave them a 10% coupon. Yeah, you just look at a tag. They got a tag that they got a 10% coupon, so you just adjust your invoice appropriately. Send your delivery guy out there. I'm assuming he's doing COD. So you just go in and tell him, hey, you need to collect 10% less from this guy because he got a coupon.
All right. Thank you very much.
So does this make sense? What you would do, you just have a phone type dash service type, and you just go in and have something like this, iPhone 6 battery, iPhone 5 battery, iPhone 6 screen, iPhone 5 screen, right? And then you could just have your Zap go in and look up. And in your Zap, you could literally, in your lookup value, you could reference those two custom fields, custom field 1 dash custom field 2. And then as long as whatever's in here matches custom field 1 dash custom field 2, as long as you put the data in correctly, it will work perfect. And it will just grab the price and then send the price back out to them.
All right. Thanks. Yeah, it makes sense a lot.
No problem. So, Amar, I know you want to go through on this Italian restaurant bot and do this coupon thing here. So we could totally do that, and we will do that. What else though? Anything else other than go into this Italian restaurant bot and build out that coupon flow? Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about or go over while we're here?
No, I think continuing on with the restaurant bot will help out.
Anybody else?
Yeah, John, this is Lee. I've
Hey, Lee.
been stalking a few of your videos, but I just sort of work work a day job in the same hour, so I haven't been able to contribute much. But yeah, I'm just learning so much watching. So I think like most people, just watching what you do and then just being able to apply it to their scenarios is such a valuable asset to us. So yeah, thank you very much.
My pleasure. So I'm thinking if no one else has anything else, I know you want to go in. I know you want to go in here. I know you want to go in here, and where would we inject that at? We would need to inject that at probably this process checkout, right? We need to go into this process checkout, and somewhere in this process checkout flow, we need to go in here and ask this guy, we need to ask this guy something about a coupon over here. We want to offer him a coupon. So we could just go in here and put in a step. Do you have a coupon? So here's going to be my suggestion, Amar, is just spend a little bit of time, let's say some 20 minutes or something, to think of exactly how you want this coupon flow to build out. I'm going to take a little break, eat a little bit of food, drink a little bit of coffee, and then let's look and see what time it is right now. It's 7:22. Let's say 8 p.m. on the hour. We'll meet back here at 8 p.m. And then I'll do another training session. Hopefully you kind of have exactly mapped out exactly how you want to do this. And then we can go in and implement that, and then probably have time to implement another 2 or 3 features in this Italian restaurant bot. Okay. So like I said, we'll meet back right at 8. I'll send you guys out a notification through the bot and a link to join the session. And then if you want to join, then I will just see you guys at 8. All right.